Chaf Dalet Tishrei, that's the 24th of Tishrei, marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yaakov Moshe Toledano, Zecher Tzadik Libracha. He was actually born back in English 1880. To be precise, on the 11th of Elul, the 18th of August, and he passed away on the 24th of Tishrei, 15th of October, back in the year 1960. He was approximately 80 years of age at the time. He was a great rabbi. He was a Posek. He rendered halachic decisions. He was a rabbi in Israel in of itself, and become the rabbi of Tel Aviv-Yafo territory, and part of, I believe, the Israeli Knesset. He had a prominent role with regards to the structure of the government, Israeli government, actually, towards the end of his life. So let's explore some of the highlights of the great rabbi's life over here. So, as we stated before, he was born in August of the year 1880, actually in Tiberias. At that point in time, it was an Ottoman Empire. He happened to be the son of another great rabbi, Rabbi Yehuda Toledano, who he himself had immigrated from Meknes, I believe, back in the year 1862, about 18 years before the rabbi we're talking about was actually born at that stage in time. And he grew up to become known as a public figure in Tiberias. He was a member actually of the city council and the head of the Mizrahi party in that specific city. Remember, Tiberias is one of the four holy cities of Israel, along with Tzfat, Hebron, and Jerusalem. He was, as we said before, he was for 4 years, I think, the Toledanos, they lived among the Jewish minority in the Galil at that point in time, it was, where he was, I think, among the founders of a Hebrew school in an area called Pekin over there. I think during the First World War, Rav Toledano received French citizenship after being expelled by the Ottoman authorities, and lived in Corsica, if I'm not mistaken. That was with another 800 members of the Galil Jewish community. Corsica is actually an island on the Mediterranean Sea and one of the 18 regions of France, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And he served as a rabbi for the local Jewish community on the island and dedicated himself, let's say, to improving Jewish life over there. In the year 1920, the French government allowed the community to return to the Galil. So at that stage in time, he would have been about 40 years of age. After returning to Tiberias, Rav Toledano purchased land from the local Arabs around, let's say, the tomb of Maimonides, actually, interesting enough, it was reported over, and the tomb of Rabbi Akiva, the famous Rabbi Akiva, who we speak very much about during the time period of Lag BaOmer. And he built a wall around the tomb of Maimonides, and he financed, I believe, the establishment of several new neighborhoods. Absolutely incredible. Between the years 1926 and 1928, Rav Toledano was a member of the chief rabbinate in Tangier, which we've spoken about this specific place in of itself on various occasions. I believe it's a northern western part of Morocco, if I'm not mistaken, on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and Atlantic Ocean, this area. And he was also a member of the Bet Din for the Jewish community in that city. These were really prominent positions. By the year 1941, he had then been appointed the head of the Bet Din and the deputy chief rabbi of Cairo, another prominent position over there, the head of the Bet Din in Alexandria, he was also, and the member of the Bet Din of Egypt. These were roles, I believe, he would actually serve in until, let's say, he became elected as the Sephardic chief rabbi of Tel Aviv in the year 1942. So really prominent positions, and let's just say definitely a broad scope of positions he had in Morocco, Egypt, and in Israel. He held this position, I think, in Tel Aviv till the year 1958, and along at that point in time with the Ashkenazi chief rabbi, happened to be Rabbi Issa Yehuda Unterman. They helped found the special court of Agunot over there, so there was a lot of collaboration between the Ashkenazim and the Sephardim at that stage in time in the Tel Aviv vicinity of itself. I think he actually left this job in the year 1958 to become the Minister of Religious Affairs, and this happened to be the 8th government of Israel, of the Medinat Israel. I think this was on the 3rd of December in the year 1958, and I think at that stage in time he wasn't actually a member of the Knesset. He would hold this post until the 30th of November the following year. It's actually interesting, when David Ben-Gurion formed the 9th government on December the 17th in the year 1959, Rabbi Toledano returned to his ministerial role and he served, I think, until he passed away from cardiac arrest in October 1960. It's actually interesting. I think he would get married to a woman called Rabbanit. She'll become Rabbanit Mary Sabag just before he passed away. I think his wife had previously passed away within the year or two beforehand. I'm not sure the exact dates within regards to this. Now, there was other commemorations that was actually put in his memory after he passed away. There was, I believe, the Bavli neighborhood, the Shchunat Bavli in Tel Aviv, was actually named, he had a street named after him in that specifically area in of itself. He, I believe, received a prize for Jewish literature, which was established by the Tel Aviv Religious Council, which was another let's say a prestigious, something prestigious in of itself, which he actually had received. And it's interesting, he was buried, I believe, in Har HaMenuchot. This was its burial, it's a place in Jerusalem, naturally. Now let's explore some of the books that he authored. He wrote a lot of colossal Torah works, Teshuvot on Halakha in of itself, and within regards to rabbis of Morocco and history books. So let's explore it. I think one of them was called Aprilion. It was a bibliography of the explanations of the Rashi. I think this is printed in Jerusalem. Then there was a Control Shalosh Teshuvot Bedin Nederei Onsil. This was, I think, on based on Rabbi Kafusi, if I'm not mistaken, who happened to be a great Posek Halakha, and Mara Ga'abizan, if I'm not mistaken. This was a great book. Then there was the Ner HaMa'ara, which was, let's say, the chronicles of the Jewish rabbis or Jewish community of Morocco. This was printed in Jerusalem. Then there was the Yadei Moshe, which is a Perush on the Mishnayot on the Rambam. Then there was Sefer Yam HaGadol, which is another great book, I think printed in the year 1931, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Shut, Sheilot, and Shuvot, I believe. Then there was a Kuntros Mashiv Nefesh, which was printed, I believe, in the year Hey Taf Reish Tzadik Vav. Sarid or Palit, I think, was printed in Tel Aviv. Then the Bat Ami, which was talking about the topic of Aginot, I hope I pronounced it correctly. This was also printed in Tel Aviv. Then there was a Marot and Otsar Genazim, which was, I think, a gathering, let's just say, of various different letters of chronicles of the land of Eretz Israel. I think it was printed, if I'm not mistaken, by the publications of Rabbi Cook. This was printed in Jerusalem, so much can be related within regards to the great rabbi. He really was a great rabbi in itself. He actually was very, let's say, sympathetic to Zionism as a general thing. He was very, seemed pro the Medinat Israel, and wrote several commentaries pertaining to his opinion of the topic of the three oaths. Over here, he actually, it's reported over this, in which he states that Zionism does not contradict the three oaths. He supported the concept, let's just say, of Hebrew labor, and stated that it was preferable for Jews to hire other Jewish people, including secular Jews, in his ideas. Rav Toledano also wrote a ruling in which it was forbidden for Jews to sell weapons to non-Jews in the state of Israel. He supported the creation of a high court in Jerusalem, as was reported over, and under appropriate conditions, supported the revival of the Sanhedrin. As we stated before, he won the Rav Kook Prize, I think, in the year 1957, in a special award category for his work. So he was very much received a lot of greatness, let's just say, in itself. It's also reported over that Rav Toledano actually studied many ancient manuscripts of the Jewish people community of Spain and North Africa in of itself. One of the most famous manuscripts that he discovered was, I believe, the commentary on the Rambam on the Mishnah in Arabic, and it had as it had originally been written. So this is very astounding. Rav Toledano, I think, discovered along with his brother Baruch Toledano, happened to also be a great rabbi in Damascus. And I think when he lived in Israel himself, Rav Toledano collaborated with an archaeologist called Nahum Slush. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. And I think they helped to discover the hot springs in Tiberias built by the Romans. And they actually say, interesting enough, just to add another tidbit, that in the year 1950, Rav Toledano was sent by the Hebrew University of Jerusalem to Morocco, and over there he actually would discover various ancient manuscripts in this in of itself. So please don't forget, it's Hilula Chaf Daled Tishrei. Don't forget to light candles in the great Rabbi's memory. Friends, we've already covered about 460 great rabbis from yesteryear. We're a community over here. We're learning about the great Oriental Rabbanim of yesteryear. Not many places you will find online, especially, that will speak about this very important topic. Please like the videos, share the videos, and subscribe to the channel. That's the main thing we can do. And I'm recording this at the time of tomorrow. Is going to be Hoshana Rabbah, and naturally tomorrow night will be Simchat Torah, the Jewish festival of Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret. So wishing you all a Chag Sameach in advance. Please pray as much as you can for all of Israel, for the whole of the world, for the whole of humanity, that we will share smachot together, good times together, and just blessings together. So wishing you all a great day, and take care, and be well. Wishing you well.